This is the plaintiff, Rosario Barros. She says her daughter has some mental health issues, and she impulsively gave the defendant $5,000 in cash to build her a large parade float for the big Puerto Rican Day Parade, which goes down Fifth Avenue in New York City. She told the heartless defendant the situation and asked her to cut her a break and return the money because it was such a crazy thing. The defendant's lawyer told her to stop contacting them, so she filed this lawsuit and is suing for the return of the $2,000 her daughter is still owed. This is the defendant, Maria Torres. She says the plaintiff attempted to cancel the float well after the work was already completed. Besides, the work on the float was done by an entirely different company, so the plaintiff's beef is with them, certainly not with her. She's accused of being heartless.
Rosario Barros, you are suing JAF Company, represented here by Maria Torres. Ms. Barros, you're actually suing on behalf of your daughter, Rosario Reveron.
Yes.
Is she here?
No.
For $2,000 that you say is owed by JAF to your daughter and that they are refusing to pay. Tell me what happened.
Rosario went to see Gallows on November 3rd.
Were you with her?
No.
Why isn't your daughter here?
She's not competent to stand trial.
Because she's not standing trial, she's suing.
I have power of attorney over her.
You have a guardianship?
Yes.
Or a power of attorney?
Power of attorney.
You have a power of attorney, meaning she signed a piece of paper and said, Mommy can do this?
Yes.
Okay, that's different than guardianship. Has she been declared mentally incompetent by a court of law after listening to the testimony of a doctor?
No.
You would know. It's not the kind of thing that accidentally happens behind your back.
She's been in and out of hospitals.
For mental reasons?
Yes, she's bipolar.
Bipolar.
Yes.
All right. But you've never had, does she have a child?
She's got 2 kids. She was pregnant when she went to Gallows on November 3rd.
She had 1 child who was how old at the time?
She's, Alana is 8 years old, no, 9 years old, going on 10.
Okay, so the child was how old at the time? 6, 7, 8, and she was pregnant with another child.
Yes.
And she went to Gallows. And what is Gallows?
Gallows is they do the floats for the Puerto Rican Parade.
And what did she do at
and
Gallows?
Chinese. She went there and she did a rental, or I don't know exactly what she did.
You do know, because you have been trying to get the money back for a while, so you do know exactly what she did. Well, and you weren't there. So
I wasn't there, that's the thing.
But she actually paid, or committed herself to, no, actually paid $5,000.
$5,000. I have an original receipt.
She paid cash?
Cash. And she never got anything stating that it was non-refundable.
Well, what do you think's going to happen when you give the company $5,000? By the way, for what?
For the rental of a float.
For a float in the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City?
Yes, yes.
Was she
delusional.
She promoting some product?
Well,
or she just wanted to have a good time and be on the float?
She thought she was going to become famous because she looks a little bit like Jennifer Lopez. She's a nice-looking girl, but she was delusional at the time when she went there.
Okay.
You know?
So she goes in there, and according to you, she used your granddaughter's Social Security money.
Yes, yes.
And how do you know she used your granddaughter's?
Because it was the money. She doesn't really have money, but the money came from, no, she's on Social Security disability. The money came from Alana's only money that she was ever going to get as far as a lump sum.
And your daughter ran out and spent it on a float on the Puerto Rican Day Parade when she's pregnant with another child?
Yes, because her doctor told her not to take medication because she was pregnant. And that was the worst thing that this doctor did, because it set up a turn of events that were really bad for the family. But she seemed normal.
How old is your daughter?
She's 30.
Is there a husband in the picture?
No. This is the granddaughter. This is Alana. It was her money.
Okay. So you are not Gallows?
No.
Are you associated with Gallows in any way?
Yes.
How?
Well, I'm the...
and Gallows is the name of the corporation, right?
Gallows is the name of the corporation that...
And what is their role in the Puerto Rican Day Parade?
Gallows?
Yeah.
They do the whole production.
They do the whole production?
From A through C.
Okay.
Including the TV broadcast.
Okay. Oh, that's big. All right, so if anybody wants a float at the parade, they have to go to Gallows.
They
Is
have
that right?
to. Yes.
And then Gallows hires you, you're JAF?
I'm JAF.
Okay, you don't have anything to do with Gallows, other than that they farm your work, or you also are a partner in Gallows?
No, I'm not a partner. I'm like a subcontractor.
You wish you were a partner in Gallows.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right. So they farm you the work, and you do what? You actually build the floats?
Well, we do we set up exactly how many floats there are left, and then we design what's going to be on the float, and they have different sizes. So
and then you farm out the actual construction.
Right. We send it out.
Okay.
And we send out the logos and everything.
Your daughter, you didn't meet with her daughter.
Never.
And you never met with Gallows.
No.
So your daughter, who you've chosen not to bring here today, is the one who met with Gallows and signed a contract. She actually signed a contract?
There was no paperwork. There was no plans, no worksheets.
Do you know whether there was paperwork that the daughter signed?
No, but I do have a settlement agreement.
Okay, and we'll talk about that in a second. So go ahead.
As of December, she started taking medication again, so she started getting better.
While she was pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we had sent letters to Gallows, and they had received the letter on December 20th. And then the following day, he turns around and he makes the check to Jeff.
When they paid you the $2,000, just out of curiosity, and we'll talk about the settlement in a second, when Gallows paid you the $2,000, did you obviously cashed the check, did you return those $2,000 to Gallows? Or did you guys keep, that's your fee?
That's our fee.
And that's your fee, and you guys have it on your side of the, okay.
Right.
So if somebody has a mental deficiency, but they're not declared mentally incompetent, can the parent or guardian step in, undo the contract?
If they're of legal age, I don't believe so. I think if they're of legal age and they've agreed to something, they need to stand by it.
What do you think?
Unless they've given them power of attorney to do that, I don't think they have a right to do that anymore.
Good points both, going inside the courtroom.
Now, Ms. Barros, you then, did you hire a lawyer or you had a lawyer friend?
My employer was helping me with the letters.
And so your employer gets involved and explains the situation, and what happens?
And then he's asked, Gallows had asked him to cease the calls and to deal directly with his lawyer, and so we did that.
Okay. And then the lawyer gets involved and works out a settlement.
Right.
And you get $3,000 out of the $5,000 return. Despite the fact that you have no paperwork that says it's refundable, because you're saying they don't have paperwork that says it's not refundable.
Yeah.
When you buy something, you know, if you want to say, hey, I have a right to return and back out of a contract, see, you know, here's what we've got going on. You have done an admirable job of trying to erase your daughter's mistakes. Because I saw the letters you wrote to Goya Products as a sponsor, asking them to please help you. I saw the letters you wrote to the corporation, asking them to please have some compassion.
Right.
And you got a good bit of the job done. Because the Gallows lawyer sat down with you and said, look, we already paid them $2,000. We're not going to see that $2,000 back, which happens, by the way, to be true, because you're telling me they're not going to see that back. That's my fee. All right, so they're not going to see that back. So we won't make a profit off your daughter. Here's $3,000. Show me the settlement, please. And now you enter into a settlement with them on behalf of your daughter, correct? And they're the only people you have a contract. You don't have any contract, but your daughter has a contract
They
with.
never gave her
You
nothing.
don't have a contract with JAF. You
No.
settled with the only party you could have a lawsuit against.
Right, because we figured at least we could get some
And
of the
by the
money.
way, the settlement agreement says Gallows Corporation and JAF. Did you know that? Clearly not. All right. I'm going to be ruling in favor of JAF. Ms. Barros, I don't
Can I ask one thing?
Yeah.
You know, if they sent us an invoice, okay, and we called their facility, why did they hang
Because
up
you
on
don't have
us?
the power to place a phone call and erase your daughter's mistakes. So if you need to keep a little closer control over your daughter and you feel that she's going to be doing things that are detrimental for your grandchildren, then maybe you need to take it to another level in terms of guardianship of her. You may have to do that. It may not be that bad. And if it's not that bad, it's not the rest of the corporate world's fault when she goes out and enters into contracts she shouldn't be entering into. My ruling in this case is on behalf of JAF, and I wish you a lot of luck with your daughter. Verdict for the defendant.
Well, the plaintiff is not successful in recovering that final $2,000 in this contract. What's your feeling coming out? You understand the ruling?
Yes, I understand the ruling, but what I didn't realize is that Jeff's name was on the contract, and that's where I messed up when I signed the agreement. But, you know, my question is, what did they produce for those $2,000? There were no work order sheets, nothing about size, what kind of float. They just took our $2,000.
I don't think that's relevant at this point. Now, are you satisfied at least the judge gave you a pat on the back for recovering 60% of that money, of that $5,000?
No, that's true. Well, you know, I did that on my own, and she said I did a good job.
All right.
I have to do better next time.
Okay.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Go ahead right this way, okay? All right, so come on in here. You have any compassion for the situation that she finds herself in?
Now that I know what happened, I mean, I had no idea about her daughter, you know, her situation and everything, but, you know, this is business.
I realize that. Why?
You work for money, so.
You work for money. Well, what is the fact now that you understand the situation? How does that change anything?
No, it doesn't change the business, but it does, I feel compassion, you know, about the situation.
All right, Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, the thing to do, like the judge said, is to get the daughter declared mentally incompetent. It's the only way to protect yourself from being taken advantage of.